his sorry, his friends would join in too, making their own creations. Sometimes they playfully knocked down each other's dirt, houses, and would roll on the floor as they laughed. So normal the way children play, and on the Raj they making houses, and with mud they used to do a lot of creations, and they used to knock off each other's houses, play, and they enjoyed. The heavenly gods watched this and were amazed. They thought Krishna can create the entire universe with a single glance, but now he's happily playing with dirt. Even playing in the dirt, Krishna's brightness was like shining sun. The loving housewives of Gokul, full of motherly affection, called out to Krishna with kind words. Oh, dear child, come to our beautiful courtyards, play with our kids, and have some food. Krishna smiled and gently answered, I can't come now because I don't have any spare time. I am very busy. Thus, the all attractive beloved of every mother's heart cleverly responded to the elderly gopis. So, here also, all the gopis wanted, Krishna to come to his house, play with their children, and have food with them. But see how he was very witty. So, we know Lord Krishna has all opulences. So, wittiness or all smartness, he has that. And he used to answer very smartly, very cleverly to the elderly gopis. I am very busy. I don't have spare time. As a small child answering in this manner, like a matured person, anxious to express their motherly affection towards Krishna, these impatient gopis held his hand and hurried to their homes. They believed he was the luckiest to have such unmatched beauty. These caring gopis bathed Krishna, rubbed his little body, and lovingly fed him buttery treats, rabri and kheer. Their hearts were full of devotion. They sent him back home satisfied. So, uh, you know, uh, they were these gopis who, how fortunate they are in this. They are able to serve Lord Krishna physically, personally. Lord Krishna is there as a small, as a baby, as a small child with them, and they are bathing him. They are giving him food, rabri, kheer, and they are, touching the Lord directly. Such a amazing satisfaction they get, and they were full of devotion. So Lord being there gives lot of mercy to them. One day, Mother Rohini called Krishna and Balram, who were playing with the other boys by the riverside. They were so engrossed in their play that they didn't come back even when it was time for lunch. So Rohini asked Mother Yashoda, who was especially fond of them, to call them back home. Mother Yashoda then called Krishna and Balram from a distance because she thought they might run away if she got too close. She said, Dear lotus-eyed Krishna, you must be hungry and tired after playing for so long. Please come and have milk. Dear Balram, the pride of our family, please come. You both ate in the morning and now it's time for your lunch. Nand Maharaj is waiting for you and he won't eat without you. See, these pastimes where Lord is playing and they are playing in the riverside. They so much of outdoor games we used to have, and now the children are spending so much time of mobile. The parents have to say, leave your mobile and eat food. But previously, it was, children used to play in the grounds and they used to be outside, and parents actually used to literally come out and call the children, come home, play, do your studies. I remember my mother coming. I used to play cricket in my childhood days, and my mother used to come there and she used to call me, come, you have to study. And we used to play for so long. And people coming, the parents coming, calling their children. So the outdoor activities were really good because physically and mentally also it used to help. So Lord Krishna and he's playing, they are doing outdoor games. Rohini is asking you, they are not doing the Yashoda, you call them, playing for so long. Till they actually were not coming, but they told, and she tells, Nand Maharaj is waiting for you and he'll not eat without you. So you please come. As soon as Krishna and Balram heard that Nand Maharaj was waiting, they began to return. But their playmates protested. Krishna, you are leaving just when our playtime is at its peak. Next time we won't let you play with us. Krishna got worried and went back to play with the boys. Then Yashoda scolded all children. Dear boys, it's time for all of you to return to your homes. So if you're in a childhood time when you used to play and when the match was in the peak, and then your mother comes and says, no, come home. And the other friends will say, now if you go, then you'll not get your batting, we'll not give you your turn. Now, same with the children are also saying to Lord Krishna, if you go, then we'll not let you play again. And all this. So then now Mother Yashoda is scolding them. It's time for all of you to go home. She then turned to Krishna and said, Krishna, look at yourself covered in dust from playing. Come and take a bath. Today is the auspicious day of your birth, Rohini. So purify yourself and give cows as charity to the Brahmanas. Mother Yashoda thought that Krishna would be excited to give charity, but Krishna didn't come back. Then she said, look at how all your playmates are so clean and well dressed by their mothers. Please come and take a bath, put on some lovely ornaments, eat your meals, and then you can go back to playing. Yet Krishna and Balaram were absorbed in playing. Finally, Mother Yashoda went close to them, held their hands, and led them home. She then gave them a bath, dressed and decorated them, and then fed them lovingly. Although Krishna was the Supreme Almighty, she considered him her son because of her profound love. So this is the way she was taking care and bringing the children back, and how Krishna and Balaram, they used to spend a lot of time on playing and enjoying their pastimes. So one day Krishna did something very unusual by playing with his friends near home. So we'll see the next chapter. Krishna's friends, just a minute. Krishna's friends and even Balaram complained to her mother. Just a minute. Yeah, sorry. Actually, I'm in Dwarka, so I'm staying in ISKCON Dwarka. So there are a lot of children outside. So before, so I'll just share, how I'm enjoying Dwarka. So I visited Somnath temple and Somnath, and there is Prabhas Kshetra here only in near Somnath. This is a place where Lord Krishna was hit by a arrow, and where this is the place where Lord Krishna ended his pastimes. All the Yadavas, they also, and they killed each other by Lord's this thing.
Prabhas Kshetra, no?
Prabhas Kshetra. So Lord Krishna completed his pastime. So what he did was, first he made all the Yadavas who were there, who were also the Devi Devtas, he intoxicated them and made them fight with each other, and they all killed each other. Then Lord Krishna also got himself hit with a arrow, and he also ended his pastime. So that place is called Baal Tirth. Baal is that arrow, Tirth, Baal Tirth. And a very beautiful place around this. Then there is a place near Porbandar called Porbandar is a place where Sudama used to stay. Sudama's temple is there. And also near Porbandar, there's a place called Jamban Caves. So Jamban Caves also very beautiful. In such a old, more than 5,000 years old, the caves are there below the ground. You can enter down and go inside. And this is the place where Lord Krishna and Jamban fought with each other. And then Jamban gave him that money, and also he gave his daughter Jambati. So that was Lord Krishna's wife. So that place is there. Then we are in Dwarkadish. So we are staying here, and we are doing darshan of Dwarkadish. So a beautiful place. In Somnath, there's a good light and sound show which happens. So there's Swamita Bachchan's voice is there in that show. So there's one important thing he says, that so many rulers came at Somnath. They attacked the temple. They destroyed temple multiple times. In fact, the Mughals, before that, the Portuguese also, many people attacked. And the temple was actually the first, Somnath is the first temple, first Jyotirling. So this is a place where moon god worshipped Lord Shiva, and he was blessed because the moon god was Somdev, who is called, he was cursed by I think Lord Brahma. He was cursed because he was not taking care of his wife, one of the wives. He was focusing only on one wife, and he was not taking care of the other wives. And he was cursed that his body will disappear. So then Lord Shiva, he did prayer there. He did austerity at this place, Somnath. So Somnath is a very important place of the first Shivling. So one important thing, what actually Amitabh Bachchan was in this lecture. He says, so many people came, they destroyed, but still nobody can destroy. The temples were again built and it's created. If you see now, Ayodhya also. So that there were so many people who come, they destroy the temples. Then again, but they can never destroy the Lord's name. Lord's name is always there. He will always, his name is there. He's always present, and the temples will get rebuilt. But nobody will remember the people who destroyed those temples. Lord's name will always be remembered. So Somnath is always there eternally. It is there from Treta Yuga, Satyug. It's that old. It has lot of history to that extent. So same way Ayodhya, they are all, see, these Ayodhya and Vrindavan, they are all planets of the Vaikunt, or they are planets of God's place. And those, when God comes for doing the Leela, he brings them down so that he can do the Leela. So these places will always be eternal. Even if somebody tries to destroy, they may destroy, but still it will revive itself. They will reappear, because Lord is there. Lord's name is always present. So I was just sharing about this trip. So a lesson on Mother Nature. The playful activities of Krishna and Gokul remind us that we must have breaks where we can disconnect from our gadgets and embrace nature's wonders. Like Krishna playing in a natural setting and with his friends, we too can explore the outdoors. Unlike modern day technology, Mother Nature offers us real adventures. Walking barefoot over soft grass, hearing bird songs, and much more. Just as Krishna's mud houses brought laughter, nature can bring us happiness. When we cherish and connect with Mother Nature, acknowledging her as Krishna's energy, we gain both spiritual and physical health rewards. Being close to nature truly helps our well-being in meaningful ways. Krishna's nature has its own magic. Try to experience his difference. So always connecting with nature is important. We are too much attached to our gadgets, too much attached to our. Sorry. So the gadgets. So yeah, like yesterday when I went for this darshan of Dwarkadish, so there are no mobile phones allowed. So for 3 hours, I did not have a phone. And I was feeling so restless and anxious. I don't have my mobile phone. So somebody would be calling me, some important message will come. So we have been addicted to soap. And finally, when I came home, I came to the room, I saw nobody had called it. We are not so important that, people will be calling us so regularly. So keeping phone for at least sometime, we should keep that phone away, because it is creating a lot of anxiety and restlessness. So here also doing outdoor activities very important. Step away from the gadgets and embrace nature's calm. Take a soothing stroll in a garden or a peaceful spot. Acknowledge how the Lord has manifested this divine nature. Observe the trees, flowers, birds, and animals nearby. Later think, did you feel better? So spend time in natural places without your mobile phone. Keep those gadgets away. Otherwise people are just so busy taking selfies, taking photographs. They go to nature, they don't enjoy that place. They are only busy taking selfies and these things. So this is what Lord's activities are there. अरे यार बच्चे बहुत हैं. Okay, a gaze into Krishna's mouth. So now very important, very first.
You
Sorry,
left the paragraph. No? Read the paragraph below. No, read that
activity.
also. Fine.
Which one? Activity?
And did you read this Tranquil Trails?
Yeah, I read.
Read this activity. This activity is good.
What kind of games do you like the most? Indoor, outdoor? Which is better? Why? So yeah, compare playing video games inside your room and ball games in your garden with friends. Which one do you prefer? Why? Team up with your friends and try to build a house with mud, straw, leaves, and other natural materials like Krishna did. So you should spend time, going to the beaches. We have or which gardens you can build so many things with mud and enjoy. So now this is a gaze into Krishna's mouth. So this is one important Leela of Lord Krishna when he eats dirt. He eats that dirt, and Mother Yashoda will see the universe in his mouth. One sunny day, little Krishna was having fun with his friends and Balram. Then Balram and other kids went to Mother Yashoda with concern. They said, Mother, Krishna ate dirt. This news made Mother Yashoda really worried. She didn't scold Krishna for stealing yogurt before, but eating dirt was serious. She rushed to where Krishna was playing, picked him up, and asked, Krishna, you are so restless and fickle minded. Why did you eat dirt? Am I not giving you delicious food at home? Your friends? Even Balram told me you ate dirt. So now, when gopis used to complain, the mother Yashoda was not taking seriously about stealing butter and all those things. But when Lord Krishna ate mud or dirt, Raj from in Gokul. Then and the other his friends the Gopals and Balram also complained. So they also went to Mother Yashoda and tell he's eating dirt. So immediately Mother Yashoda became very angry and she scolded Lord Krishna. He's saying, even Balram is telling me about that you are eating dirt. So मैंने भी कभी उठाया भी नहीं इसकी वजह से. Bimala Mati, put on mute or. Okay. So now Balram was also there, and when Balram was complaining, so then Mother Yashoda took it very seriously because he will never say lies. Krishna responded, Dear mother, my friends conspired against me, hoping you would scold me. Even Balram joined in. But I swear I didn't eat dirt. Please don't be upset with me. I'm telling the truth. They are the ones lying. If you doubt me, you can check my mouth. Now he's saying, no, they are conspiring and they are they want me to be scolded every time. That's the reason they are doing that. So Krishna, so Mother Yashoda agreed. Okay, all right, open your mouth. We see it's natural for a child to lie when afraid of punishment, and Krishna behaved like any other child. This incident deepened Yashoda's affection for Krishna, as a mother's love intensifies when a child is in potential danger. Yashoda began inspecting Krishna's mouth carefully, and to her surprise, she witnessed something truly extraordinary. Now she's checking his mouth, and this is the thing she will see. When within Krishna's mouth, she saw all living beings, those that move and those that don't. The entire universe unfolded before her eyes. Skies, mountains, islands, oceans, earth, wind, fire, moons, stars, planets, water, light, and air. Krishna's mouth contained every aspect of the universe. The experience left Yashoda both fearful and confused about her son's true nature. So now she's seeing everything inside. In fact, she's also able to see. So there are sages who say, she was able to see herself also in the universe. So she's able to see the Vrindavan, the Gokul, and then she's seeing herself, and she's also seeing Lord Krishna and both of them in his mouth and the whole universe. So she was puzzled. She thought, some problem with her, hallucination, some neuro problems. So something we start seeing double, we see some problems. So she thought, some problem has happened with her eyes or with her vision. The question raised through her mind: Is this a dream? Could it be an illusion created by Lord's Maya energy, or is it my own mind deceiving me? Does my child possess some mystical power? Earlier during the naming ceremony, Garga Muni predicted that Krishna would have qualities as good as Lord Narayan. Could it be that witnessing the universe within my child's mouth, because he is as divine as Lord Narayan? So she's thinking so many possibilities. Garga Muni had actually told, your son has the qualities of Lord Narayan. So she's thinking because he's as divine as Lord Narayan, and that's the reason she could see the universe within the child's mouth. Not being able to determine the truth by her own analysis, innocent and pure-hearted Yashoda decided that the cause of her vision was Lord Narayan. With utmost respect, she offered her prayers unto him. In her heart, she fervently prayed for her son's well-being. So she's confused and she finally believes, it might be because of this Narayan. And she thought her vision it's because of her problem, she's seeing such a thing. And in fact, when she sees this, after that, Lord, with illusion, she forgets also. So that, when the next incident happens, she becomes normal. She becomes like a parent. And she forgets, such thing even happened. So if you see, like our body, when our soul moves from one body to another, we also forget things. We are made zero, or we are formatted, reformatted, like a mobile phone. When reformatted, everything is gone. So same way, when our soul is moving from one body to another, we are also formatted. We forget everything. If we start remembering everything, then we'll have a problem. Suppose if we start remembering in my previous birth what was happened. So in a previous birth, if I was some animal, this thing all happened with me. So this life, if we start living in this manner, we'll become very depressed. So if we have that information about what happened in our previous lives, so that's the reason Lord has ensured that our everything is, for we forget everything. In fact, within this life also we forget so many things after some period of time. So the forgetting, as a nature of forgetting, is very good for us to be happy. Otherwise, we'll always remain anxious and worried, because otherwise we keep on thinking about the old things. So forgetting is a good quality, and Lord ensures we forget bad things, and we move on in life. So here also Mother Yashoda will forget, because she was confused. She's not able to believe, what she is seeing. Epitome of Motherly love. Mother Yashoda is the epitome of parental affection towards Krishna. Her position is superior to even Nand Maharaj, Devaki and Vasudev, and all the other gopis of Gopal. In fact, all the other devotees of Krishna who played motherly affection towards Krishna are her expansions. She contemplated, I seek refuge to Lord Narayan, the eternal creator and maintainer of the universe. Due to illusion, I am wrongly identifying Nand Maharaj as my husband, Krishna as my son, and all the cows and wealth as my possessions. Similarly, gopis and gopas, I have mistaken the all of them to be my subjects. In truth, I am eternally a servant of the Lord, and He alone is my ultimate refuge. So she is thinking, she is now praying, everything is illusion. Though in fact, I think Nand Maharaj is my husband, Krishna is my son. So this is all happened. This is actually reality. In this birth, we have somebody as our parent, somebody as our spouse, somebody as our children. But in the next birth, they may not be there. It's only for temporary period they meet, and then we disperse. We meet for some time. Within no time, Mother Yashoda's philosophical thoughts gave way to her natural motherly love for Krishna. Overwhelmed by affection, she cradled her son in her lap with intensified love. Although Lord Krishna is praised in the scriptures as the supreme creator and maintainer, Yashoda saw him simply as her child. This is the proof of her unparalleled motherly love, Vatsalya Bhav. With deep tenderness, she offered her milk to Krishna, who drank it happily. So she came back, she became normal, and she started giving natural mother love to Lord Krishna. Also Lord Krishna is the supreme creator, but for Mother Yashoda, he is her small child. So this is the end of this chapter. What we'll do is, I have one more. I have a story on this thing of Bhagavatam Tales. We'll listen about Sati, Shiva, and Daksh. The story of Daksh Prajapati and Sati, Mother Sati. Yes, sir. There's a big group who has come to this thing, Dwarka for darshan from Delhi. So they are the children's house. Okay, so now I'll start with the story of Daksh Prajapati and Sati and Shiva. So this is there in Bhagavatam also. This is a Bhagavatam story. So now we had heard about Swayambhu Manu and uh, uh, Satsarupa, and how about their children. So one of the daughters they had was Prasuti. So they had 3 daughters and 2 sons. So one of the daughter was Prasuti, and she was married to Prajapati Daksh. So Daksh Prajapati was, and Prasuti and Daksh had 16 beautiful daughters. So they had 16 daughters, and out of the 16, one was Sati. So Sati was one who was married to Lord Shiva, and then all her sisters, Sati's all sisters had many sons, but Sati was only one who did not have any child. She was not having a single child. But Daksh loved her daughter very much, but he was not very happy of Sati getting married to Lord Shiva. So he was always little envious towards him. Although Lord Shiva is very gentle, he's non-envious. He's always peaceful and self-satisfied. And he's, of course, he's a Mahadev. He's the greatest of all Devtas. So, but Daksh, always he had this thing. He had a very bitter relationship. So once what happened, there was one uh, there was a sacrifice performed, not general sacrifice, which was being performed by several stages and demigods, and everybody was there. It was a 1,000-year sacrifice. And at that time, Daksh was a very senior. Daksh was considered to be a very important personality. So he entered that arena where that sacrifice was happening, and he entered. He was shining like a sun, and he entered, and everybody stood up. So everybody stood up except Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. So everybody stood in respect for him. So whenever obviously a great personality comes, so everybody gives respect. But Lord Brahma was his father, so he did not stand up. So Daksh did not mind it. But Lord Shiva did not stand up. He did not like it. He was very angry. But Lord Shiva at that time, his eyes were closed. He was in meditation. He was actually thinking of the Lord and he was meditating. So he did not realize and he did not stand up. And Daksh became very angry. So Daksh actually started criticizing Lord Shiva. He criticized very bad. He says, O sages and devtas, I am not speaking out of ignorance or envy. This Shiva is unclean, shameless, impure, proud, and has no manners. Like a madman, sometimes laughs and sometimes cries. He smears crematorium ashes, wears a garland of skulls and bones. He is dear to ghosts and crazy beings who are in ignorance. Pretending to be an honest person, this monkey-eyed man has married my fawn-eyed daughter Sati. He thus accepted himself as my subordinate, but now he has failed to respect me even with words. Therefore, though not desiring, I gave my daughter to this unqualified man at the request of Brahma. So Lord Brahma had requested for marriage. So he says such bad things to Lord Shiva. But Lord Shiva did not react because Lord Shiva is very tolerant. He is very peaceful. Daksh was envious, so he did not say. So Daksh also, even, Daksh then he cursed Lord Shiva also that. He said, Shiva, the lowest of all devtas, he should not have a share in sacrificial oblations. So whatever sacrifice or oblations which are given in the Havan or this Yagna and Yags. So he said, no, Lord Shiva should not be given any share. So then Lord Shiva, what he did? He left, Daksh also left the assembly, and Lord Shiva also became angry and he also left the assembly. And at that time, Nandi, who was Lord Shiva's servant, he also have a goat head very soon. His head will be, sorry.
Sir, your voice is cracking and
Prabhuji, we are unable to hear.
Oh, it's cracking. Should I stop my video? So just a minute, I'll stop my video and see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now it is better.
No, sir.
Hello. Still no. But previously it was fine. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's cracking a lot.
Cracking a lot. Okay. So from when it was cracking?
Now it's okay.
So did you hear about Prajapati? Huh?
Now it is better, Prabhuji.
Now it is okay?
Yeah. But you'll have to go a little back and
Okay.
then
So
start
till
again.
what time, till what you... so, okay, we'll start. So you heard about Swayambhu Manu and Satsarva's daughter, Prasuti, who married to Prajapati Daksh. And Prajapati Daksh and Prasuti, they had 16 daughters. And out of the 16 daughters, one of them was Sati, who married Lord Shiva. So all other 15 daughters, they had many sons, but Sati did not have any children. And then Sati and his father Daksh actually loved his daughter Sati, but he was not liking Lord Shiva. He was always envious. So once there was a yagna sacrifice performed by many sages for 1,000 years. At that time, everybody was there, all sages, devtas, all were sitting in that assembly, and Daksh Prajapati entered that area, and then he entered and everybody stood up. So in welcome and giving a respect to him, but Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva did not stand. Lord Brahma was his father, so he did not mind, but Lord Shiva, he became very angry, and I mentioned about how he told lot of ill things, bad things to Lord Shiva. He became very envious and he started telling bad about Lord Shiva. So, but Lord Shiva did not mind. He did not become angry with Daksh, and he did not mind. He remained tolerant. But again, Daksh still started saying, he started cursing that Lord Shiva should not be given any share in the sacrificial oblations. And then Daksh left the assembly, this thing of that place. And then Nandeshwara, who is Lord Shiva's servant, he also cursed Daksh that Daksh have a head of a goat. So he should get the head of a goat. And he also cursed the people who are supporting him. He said, people who are supporting Daksh, they are foolish, and they should be bereft of spiritual knowledge, and they will become, he also cursed. So then again, what happens? The curse again happens. So now, after Nandi cursed the Brahmanas and Daksh Prajapati, Bhrigu Muni was sitting there. Bhrigu Muni cursed Lord Shiva's followers. Let Lord Shiva's followers become atheists. Since they criticize Brahmanas and Vedas, let them be diverted from the scriptural injunctions and become addicted to wine and flesh. So, because of this Bhrigu Muni, there are many people who don't do fasting on Mahashivratri, because they feel, there's a curse which is given to the followers of Lord Shiva and this thing. So that's reason sometimes you find that some people, so it's they don't fast, but it's okay. We can fast. It's not that way. But somewhere I heard that this is the reason where some of our Vaishnavas, they don't do fasting. So because Bhrigu Muni also cursed the Lord Shiva's followers, and this cursing was happening, Lord Shiva also became sad, and he also left. And then after that, ultimately, Daksh was not there, Lord Shiva was not there, but this yagna was completed. So this was one incident which happened in one time. So now after that, what happened? Daksh decided that, he was so angry with Lord Shiva, he decided to perform a sacrifice at his place. So he decided to do a Vaja Paya Yagna at his place. And then he invited many sages, devtas, everybody invited, but he did not invite Lord Shiva and his daughter Sati. So they both were not invited, but Sati came to know. So in one of the lectures, one of our Prabhuji says, he told everybody who was coming, when you are coming, bring your airplanes above from the Kailash. Then you come to my place. So that, let Lord Shiva become jealous. So it's just not that way. But Sati came to know about this incident, and she became curious, and she said to Lord Shiva, I also want to go. And she came to know that my father is doing a sacrifice, so I should be attending it. So she's approaching her husband Shiva, and he says, so this discussion between Lord Shiva and Sati is very, very important. It's a discussion a way normal husband-wife will have in some issue. So this is one issue. So one issue is one scenario is there when his father-in-law is doing a sacrifice and he is not invited. He has not invited Lord Shiva. So she is telling, it's your father-in-law sacrifice conducted by great sages. My sisters must have gone there with their husbands. I see that several devtas are also going. I also want to decorate myself and go there with you. I wish to see my mother, sisters, aunts, and other relatives. I desire to see my birthplace. Please be kind to me. How can a daughter be undisturbed during a festive event at her father's house? So Shiva also then answers, there's no harm in going to the house of a friend or a father, even without an invitation. So Sati is still convincing him, you have accepted me as your better half, and please oblige me. Say, it's my father's place, so you should allow me to go there, even if I have been not invited. So Lord Shiva says, it's true that one can go to a friend's house uninvited, but if the host finds fault with the guest and looks at the guest with angry eyes, one shouldn't go to such a person's house, because your father doesn't like me and he is intentionally not invited. It's not advisable. So, but she's debating, she does a lot of debate with Lord Shiva, but my father will not find fault in us because he has wisdom. So Shiva says, noble people have 6 great qualities, namely austerity, wealth, knowledge, beauty, youth, and heritage. But if one is proud, these qualities become faults in them, and they can't see any good in others. This is very important para. It says, generally people who have, suppose somebody had a lot of qualities. He has austerity, he has wealth, knowledge, he has beauty, youth, and health. If he is a gentle, humble person, no problem. His all qualities will be superb. But if he becomes proud, then these qualities become his enemies. In fact, they will never, because he'll become proud and he will never see good things in others. So pride can kill all the good qualities of the person. So then Sati is also still trying to convince, I'm her favorite daughter. Therefore, even if he speaks unkind word, I'll tolerate. So she was saying, harsh words of her relatives are more painful than harsh words of enemies. So they continue pains, one heart, day and night. So Lord Shiva is trying to convince her, and so logically saying, harsh words of your relatives will be more painful. When the relatives tells bad things, we'll be feeling more sad. But if somebody unknown person tells you something, you will forget it. You don't know him, that person. So Sati is saying, no, I'll go alone. You did not come. So he's saying, I understand you're the daughter of, beloved daughter of Daksh, but because of connection with me, he'll dishonor you. He's saying, even if you go alone, you will be dishonored because you are my wife. So Sati is saying, you are saying like this because you are angry towards my father. She was saying, I don't have any anger, but I know what will happen. He's visualizing that, this will be bad, but she is not agreeing. She's not convinced. So Shiva, there's a lot of discussion which happens, and finally he says, okay. She becomes very angry. Sati finally says, no, I want to go. And Lord Shiva says, okay, go wherever you want to go. Because she became so angry, says, otherwise I'll kill myself while this thing. So Lord said, no, don't, you do whatever you want, you go, it's okay. So Lord Shiva allowed her to go. Means allowed in the sense he was not happy, but still Sati went for this thing. So now, finally, when Sati reaches to that place of Daksh's sacrifice, and she did not agree to Lord Shiva's advice, and she went there, nobody welcomed her. So Lord Shiva, what he did, he said, some of his servants, Nandi, Maniman, he sent somebody along with Sati for her safety. So they also went, and they reached there in a proper parade and singing. When they reached there, Daksh, none of the sages welcomed her because they were afraid of Daksh, because Daksh doesn't like Lord Shiva. So only her mother and sisters, they only came and welcomed her, and they made her sit. And when she was sitting, when she's sitting and she started feeling, such a big sacrifice is happening. All devtas have come, so many great sages, but my husband is not there. And now she becomes very angry. So in fact, she was thinking, I had neglected my Lord Shiva's advice, but I should have done that. But now she has become angry. But so she starts condemning her father Daksh. She's saying, who except you would hate Lord Shiva. There is no rival for Lord Shiva in this universe. He's the most beloved of all. Although you criticized him as inauspicious, everything including Brahma, inauspicious, everyone including Brahma considers him auspicious. Sadhus like him find no faults in others, but magnify even meager good qualities in others. But a proud man like you finds faults in great souls. Therefore, offense to exalted personality will ruin you. She started saying, she's saying you have blasphemed a great Vaishnava. One must cut the tongue or kill an offender like you. If that is so, now this is very important. When anybody blasphemes, what is the meaning of blaspheme? Blaspheme is basically criticizing or saying something wrong about the Lord. So here, Daksh has done wrong. His activity or his not inviting Lord Shiva is an action which is incorrect. So now Sati is saying, what we should do if such thing happens. If somebody has blasphemed the great Vaishnava, one must cut the tongue or kill an offender like you. I should cut your tongue or I should kill you. But if that is not possible, one must block one's ears and leave that place. So second is you close your ears if somebody is saying such things. And third is you give up one's own life as an atonement for hearing the criticism. So if somebody is criticizing, then you give your own life. So because of this, she's saying, because you happen to my father, I do not wish to kill you. So I shall give up my body. My body is a source of embarrassment since it comes from a person who has offended her. So she finally decides, Sati, I will give up my body because you have criticized a great Vaishnava, my husband, Lord Shiva, and insulted him. Sati, so immediately she killed herself through, she sat there and invoked fire within herself and she burned herself. And when this thing happened, everybody was shocked. So they also some people started criticizing Daksh. You have been so hard-hearted that you have not given respect to Lord Shiva and these things. So when these things was happening, all Lord Shiva's attendants, they decided to kill Daksh. Immediately, the other rishis, the Bhrigu Muni, and who were on the side of Daksh, they also
Prabhuji,
started.
your voice was breaking. We missed it a little bit.
Okay. Sati invoked fire
She became
inside,
Sati.
and
Yeah, she became Sati. Then
herself
what
burned.
happened? Yeah.
So now Sati means she did not become, so we call it becoming thing, actually her name was Sati, and she invoked fire. She burned herself. So, and then after that, immediately some of the sages who were sitting there, they also criticized Daksh. You have so dead and you have insulted Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva's servants, they came and they also they became.
Prabhuji, we can't hear you.
He's got disconnected. Just a moment, he'll connect.
He got disconnected immediately without saying anything. So,
So till then, let him connect. Okay, he's back.
Call. Am I audible?
No, Prabhuji.
Hello.
Talking.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, now,
No. Oh, I think okay, show at my place then. It was running very fine.
now,
Let me try to.
now it's okay.
Okay, let me try to use some Wi-Fi. Just a minute.
I'll show a
Let me
small
see if with
video.
Wi-Fi it works.
Ravi, I'll show a video till then. It's a small 1.5 minute.
Just a minute.
Yeah,
Okay,
just a
sure,
minute.
sure.
You connect Wi-Fi till then.
yes, you can.
I'm not able to see the video if you're showing.
Video, ma'am.
One thing is it visible?
No, ma'am.
Otherwise, I'll continue. Vimala-ji. I'm audible now better.
Yeah,
Am I audible?
you continue. Yeah, you're audible.
But am I audible? Okay.
Yes,
Okay. So
ma'am.
now when Sati gave her life and she got invoked fire, then Lord Shiva's servants, they wanted to attack Daksh, and so Daksh, the sages who were supporting Daksh, they also came forward to fight with them. So Bhrigu Muni, and they also came to fight with them. So afterwards, what happened? The sages were very powerful, and all the servants of Lord Shiva had to run away. So they all ran away. Parallelly, Narad Muni informed Lord Shiva that his wife Sati has been, she has given up her life, and then Lord Shiva became very angry. So Lord Shiva immediately he plucked a hair from his head and he threw it on the ground, and he created a demon called Veerabhadra. So Veerabhadra was created, and he was very huge. He was as big, as high as the sky, and bright as three suns, and fearsome. So he, with lot of weapons, he asked Lord Shiva what I have to do. He said, go and kill Daksha and his soldiers. So Veerabhadra immediately left to that area, and he carried a fearful trident. And along with his associate, they went to attack Daksh. So Prasuti, So everybody also, the Prasuti, his wife of Daksh, she said, this danger is the result of Daksh's sin. He insulted innocent Sati and caused her death. And he did not honor Lord Shiva. So everybody also, this thing, started condemning Daksh. And Daksh also saw, a lot of bad omens were coming. And Veerabhadra immediately attacked. So what he did, went there, he destroyed everything, the pillars, the sacrificial paraphernalia, everything was destroyed. And he extinguished, the sacrificial fire was extinguished, and everybody ran away. The priest and this thing ran away. So everybody did sing. Maniman was one of the servant of Lord Shiva. He arrested Brigumuni. Veerabhadra arrested Daksh. Chandesha arrested Pusha. And Nandishiva arrested Bhaga. So Veerabhadra, what he did? Veerabhadra tore off the mustache of Bhrigu, who was smiling, who had smiled showing his mustache when Daksh insulted Shiva. So Bhrigu Muni was, what he was doing, when Lord Shiva was being insulted, he was showing I'll on my video so that you can see. So what he was doing, he was, touching his mustache, he was smiling. So Veerabhadra, what he did? He cut his mustache only. Then there was Bhaga, one more sage, who was encouraging Daksh, with his eyes, with his eyebrows. Yeah, do this. And he was very happy being Lord Shiva being insulted. So what he did, he plucked his eyes out. So Veerabhadra put his eyes out because he was showing it out. Then what he did, he knocked the teeth of Pusha. So there was a Pusha who was smiling. He was, showing his teeth by smiling when Shiva was insulted. So he broke his teeth. So one mustache cut. Second, he pulled eyes of one sage, and then for one, he broke his teeth. And finally, he sat on the chest of Daksh and beheaded him. He cut the head of Daksh. And everybody then became happy and everybody left. And what he did, he put that head of Daksh in the sacrificial fire so that it was also destroyed. And they all left for Lord Shiva. So after this was happening, so what happened? Everybody was injured. The priests, they were all hit. It's a massive attack which has happened. So all the sages in broken conditions, broken hands and legs, what they did, they approached Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma told them this was supposed to happen. How can you expect happiness if you are insulting Lord Shiva? He's a great personality. He's a great Vaishnav. So now the only option is you go and ask forgiveness from Lord Shiva. You should beg forgiveness. And Lord Shiva is he's Ashutosh. He gets pleased easily. So he'll forgive you. So then Lord Brahma took everybody, all the injured, sages and Daksh also, who did not have a head. Everybody went there, and they except Daksh basically, all other went there and they asked for forgiveness. And Kailash, they went to Mount Kailash. So Lord Shiva, again, he was sitting there. He was sitting again on a very big banyan tree, under a big banyan tree, which was 800 miles long. Such a big, huge tree. And he was sitting there. He was doing austerity. So it's mentioned, how he was sitting. He was sitting on a kusa mat and beating on this thing. He was sitting in Virasan with his left leg on his right thigh and his left hand on his left thigh, and his right hand he had Rudraksh, and he was meditating. And Devtas and sages, they all offered respect, and Lord Shiva stood up and bowed down in front of Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma, everybody said, please spare sinful Daksha, and they all asked forgiveness. And so Lord Brahma actually did the talking, and he convinced Lord Shiva to forgive him. You're a devotee of Lord Vishnu and this thing. And he said, give back life to Daksh, give Bhaga his eyes, give Bhrigu his mustache, give Pusha his teeth, and let the Devtas recover from their injury. And he said, you will also please take your sacrifice. So then he said, okay, I am convinced. And he said, I'll give everything back. So what he did, Lord Shiva fulfilled all the promises. So Daksh, he got a goat's head. So he got a goat head. He said, okay, I'll give him a goat's head. So because his words and intelligence is like a goat, he said, Daksh is not intelligent. His intelligence is like a goat. Let him get a goat's head. So he got a goat's head. Then he said, Bhaga, whose eyes were pulled out, he said, okay, let him see with Mitra's eyes. He did not give his eyes. He said, you see with Mitra's eyes. And Pusha, whose teeth were broken, he said, okay, let him, let him chew through his teeth of his disciples of Daksh, or let him eat chickpea, let him eat something which is soft. This thing, because he has shown his teeth while laughing at the devotees. and let the devtas have their limbs restored, as they did not side with Daksh when he criticized. So all the limbs were restored, and Bhrigu, whose mustache was cut, he said, okay, let him get the mustache of a goat. So head of the goat and mustache of a goat, and rest all people, let them manage with this thing. And then all of them, including Lord Shiva, everybody uh, were happy of the thing. And Daksh, when he got his own body, he had also understood, and he had his heart had been, which was contaminated. Now he got his knowledge, he got his intelligence back, and his hatred for Lord Shiva was cleansed, and he did not have that. And then he also worshipped Lord Shiva, saying that I am your offender. Your punishment to me is your mercy upon me. You always protect the Brahmanas. Not knowing the truth about you, I insulted you, but you were tolerant. Please be satisfied by your own mercy, for I cannot satisfy with you with my words. So everybody was pardoned, and the whole incident, this thing, at that time, the sacrifice was completed. Lord Vishnu also appeared there, and he also blessed everybody. Lord Vishnu also instructed
Sati
Daksh.
was lost, no, Prabhuji?
Who?
No, Sati was lost, right?
Yeah, Sati was lost. So Sati will be reborn as Mother Parvati. So Sati was lost. So I'll tell you that also. So so Lord Vishnu also came. Then Lord Vishnu also instructed Daksh, if a devotee worships me but disrespects Shiva, Brahma, I am not pleased. Therefore, never commit such offenses again. This is actually very important. I find many people, many devotees who suppose they start worshipping Lord Krishna, or maybe particularly I've seen this in our Vaishnava community. They start disrespecting others. Lord Shiva or the Devi Devtas. They don't give that respect. See, point is, respect should be given here. Lord Vishnu is clearly saying, if you worship me, but if you disrespect Shiva and Brahma, I am not happy. You have to give respect to Lord Shiva, Brahma, everybody. Respect is important. Although you may be my devotee. So this is very important. Otherwise, we'll be committing offenses against them, because they are also the devotees of Lord Vishnu. They are also the devotees of Lord Krishna. We should never give disrespect to any of the Devi Devta. Always be ensure that all temples, everything is given proper respect. So Daksh also then worshipped everybody, and this was concluded. Then Sati was reborn as Parvati in the womb of Menaka, the wife of Himalaya. Parvati married Lord Shiva again and lived happily. So there is one story of when maybe I would have told earlier. Narad Muni once goes and meets Parvati. He asks. So Narad Muni generally, he creates little, entertainment. Little create wittiness, some things there for pleasing for Lord's pastime. So he goes and meets Parvati, and he says to Parvati, does Lord Shiva share with you everything? Mother Parvati says, yes, he tells me everything, he shares everything with me. Okay, so do you know what he wears? He wears this skulls, the mala, garland of skulls. So are you aware what is it? So she said, so she's saying, no, that I'm not aware. Then he leaves. He says, Narayan, and she leaves from there. He leaves from the Narad Muni. So when Lord Shiva comes, and then she's asking the Lord Shiva, what is this skulls which are what you're wearing? So he said, why are you asking this? She said, no, Lord Narad Muni had come and he was telling me. Acha. So I said, okay. So this skulls, then Lord Shiva tells, these skulls are of all your skulls only. So whatever in previous births, whatever you had, this thing, I'm wearing the skulls of your. I think how come you can wear so many skulls of mine? So have I taken so many times birth? She said, yes, you have taken so many, but you have not taken any birth again. Saying, no, I have not taken birth. I have married you whenever you have taken rebirth. So Lord Shiva is always eternal, and it's the skulls of in Sati Parvati, whatever rebirths she has taken. So this is one of the stories. Okay, so this and Sati Dakshan, Dakshan Lord Shiva's this thing. Arrogance is very, very dangerous. Arrogance and pride can lead such a great personality like Daksh, who was, Lord Brahmasan, and he can be punished by so badly. So pride is very dangerous. So